Hello everybody, I'm Dor. This is my best friend Chantal. Thank you for coming to a cinematic binge. John Wick 3, Parabellum. Oh my god. There will be spoilers. We are talking about John Wick 3, which we just saw in theaters.
You've been warned. Shut us off.
Shut
Go
it
to
off.
theater.
If you haven't
Watch
seen
it now.
If you hate spoilers, shut it off now. Go ahead. We'll give you a minute. So you've been warned as we discuss pretty much all of our thoughts about the newest movie, Parabellum, and then where we think it might go and different things from the original movies too. Because I have some thoughts on those. It was so good. I was wrapping my head around it for a very long time. I think it was more fast-paced than either of the other two movies.
It was, oh my gosh, it was, so much happened, so much didn't. I was so confused.
You think it was interesting to see them really expand on the world. Now, in the world that they expanded on, in none of the movies, in any of the three movies, no bystanders ever die, which I find really interesting. We never hear about any stray bullets or anything like that.
Excuse me,
So-
it's because they're trained professionals.
And I know that we don't really focus on the real world, and there's the whole suspension of disbelief thing, and then there's really no cops at all. None whatsoever. None.
I mean,
It's fun to think of a world where these assassins can abound and there be no cops whatsoever.
yeah, like, the thing is like, they set it up really nicely in 1 and in 2, where there's Jimmy. You know that there's, like,
That's
the
true,
guy
yeah.
who knows
Yeah.
of the underworld.
The EMTs showed up.
Even if it would just be like somebody, like one police person go into the thing and then like have one code word and then like all of them just stop.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
they're just like, don't fucking
That's-
touch that with a 10-foot pole.
This is dangerous shit. Don't bother. I don't necessarily want to say it was darker than the other ones. It's needed that comic relief more often.
Yeah.
There were a lot more comedic breaks. But even through the darkest stuff, I was smiling the whole time. This is awesome!
I wouldn't say it was dark. It was just like you see stuff that like they just push the envelope of violence. It's not it's dark, seedy humanity problems, but it's just there's more violence than you're used to seeing.
Definitely. I wouldn't even say more violence, because even the Avengers movies have a lot of violence in them, but we do see it's way more gruesome. We see a lot more gore in this one. There was a lot of blood. It got a little chunky at times. I was like, whoa, brain matter. That's amazing. In the first one, there was like, it kind of reminded me of, remember the part in Kill Bill when she is facing down the inmate? And how they did that all in silhouettes, and they used a lot of that in the first John Wick. Not so much the second one, I don't think.
They did a little bit like in the sewering section, like they did good lighting and stuff for that.
Yeah.
But like, for Kill Bill, like it was just all of it was happening, but the silhouette
and there was so much
masked
blood.
It held you back.
Yeah. The second one too, I felt as though a lot of the filming through the second one was kind of almost following him in third-person shooter style. I felt like I was watching someone play like a Gears game or something, and it was a lot over his shoulder, so you would see him as he gunned everyone down. It wasn't as tight. There we go, because it had a very tight frame as it followed him from room to room, particularly in the second one, a lot of times in the first one as well. Honestly, I almost think that each of these movies makes a pretty decent standalone. Honestly, I don't think you have to have seen the first two to enjoy this one.
Yeah,
they're really fun, but I think they make really good standalones.
They do. Like, they did a really good job of explaining, why people are after him, why he's in so much trouble, and also it kind of really emphasizes, the high table versus the under table, stuff like that. We said there were spoilers. Shit gets weird. But, like, they did a really good job of explaining it, but for somebody who's seen the movies, like, it doesn't feel like they're forcing the dialogue onto you and stuff like that. You're just like...
It's not a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
It comes up
naturally.
In this one, he speaks as little as he does in any of the other ones. Everyone else has more lines than Keanu. Housemates, one of them had seen the first one. The other one hadn't seen either of them. I was like, you've seen the trailers? Like, you had to have seen the trailers and the memes and stuff like that, so you've got to know what happens. Because he was like, if that dog dies, I'm gonna be very upset. He fell in love with Daisy. Do I tell him? Dude, I'm just gonna watch and see what happens.
Well, like,
he was so pissed.
It's surprising for like how much of a cult classic the John Wicks are. Like, there's so many times people don't know what they're going into. Like, I showed it to somebody. They did not know about the dead dog.
See,
and oh my god, I had to go get a box of tissues. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, I thought you knew. Everybody knows about John Wick and his dog.
And why the whole thing, every morning radio show just talked about how the whole storyline is just a man getting revenge over the fact that his puppy died. I'm not even playing. Today I was on my phone and I saw a Wick Avengers crossover meme. Thanos snaps and Daisy disappears, like disintegrates, and he's just like shit. It's so great. I mean, that's the joke of it, and that's really what it is. Movies with Mikey does a really interesting analysis on the first John Wick. If you guys are into this video and you want to watch some more videos like it, go see his channel. His analyses are really interesting, and it was really cool to see just the kind of stuff that he talked about.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna go first because I almost feel like our favorite part is the same part. Fanboy. The fanboy! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
That was hilarious. I am such a big fan. I didn't know where they were gonna go with this because, again, them each being great standalone movies, I was like, okay, they've already shown us that pretty much everybody is a hitman at any given moment. Everybody's a hitman. Like, they show this. Like, he's got gold coins that he's giving out everywhere. Everybody is getting these cell phone alerts whenever they put out a thing. You see, like, 10,000 people in New York. And it's New York. That's a big fucking city. I was like, he's gonna die immediately. Like, where else can they go with this? So I was really worried, and then I think you sent me a trailer and I was like, I could still go for more. Yeah. I can totally do another movie.
Totally. Well, like, the thing is for how little plot these movies have, like, they did such a good job about setting up the underworld, because, like, in your brain, the moment you're just like, there's gonna be a third one, he against the world, and it's pretty much in your brain, you go, either he's gonna die or he has to take down the entire High Council. There is no way that we can figure out how to do this. So I instantly assumed Parabellum was about him taking down the entire High Council. And halfway through the movie, we hadn't even seen one of them. And I'm just like, how is he going to get out of this shit?
Like, and honestly, I thought it was kind of a location. The adjudicator, she was interesting. She had a lovely voice. I didn't necessarily find her attractive, but then she spoke and I was like, look at those eyes. All of a sudden, I was super mesmerized by her. And her and Winston, how they played off of one another, that was something to behold. Funny.
It was a game of chess dynamic, because, like, they're both, you know, trying to show that they have the upper hand. And even in the end stuff, you just kind of like, but do we know which side they're on? Yeah. Like, it got really weird.
Some of the rules, I was like, who is making up these rules? I call shenanigans on those rules. Because some of those rules, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Just the fact that excommunication from the Continental automatically equaled a bounty on your head, and that the high table people were gonna kill you. That blew my mind. I asked Chantal, dude, why are they still trying to kill him? He's been excommunicated. Why is that bounty still there? Didn't that dude die?
You have wronged the high table and the Continental. They want your head. Like in one. Sorry. Like they killed off.
They killed
Perkins.
Yeah, Perkins
because
died.
it was that, but it was that they called her out and killed
automatically.
Her. Versus he like smudged the lines and let Wick go, but it was pretty much the.
Well, it's because Wick's the favorite.
He is the favorite child. But they still need his head because he's being excommunicado, so it became its own bounty.
Could you imagine if the church excommunicated people like that? Oh my god. I do love how legendary Wick is within the movie, that everybody they've heard the stories, they know who he is. I also love that we get to see him kill 2 people with a pencil. That was awesome, because you just keep hearing about how he killed 3 people with a pencil in a bar one time. So watching him kill 2 people with a pencil, I was like, there it is. He did it a lot more creatively than I had initially thought.
Well, like, that's the one thing is that you brought up with 2, like, it was more video game lineup, everyone has a gun, over its shoulder, blah, 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 blah. Like, the thing is with Parabellum is that you're just like, we're going to say the exact same thing, but I feel like they pretty much went, what's every other weapon we can use?
They really did. They got
the entire
so
arsenal.
Creative with
they
weapons.
Used knives, they used books, they used axes, they used belts, they used horses. I mean, the horses.
Okay, I'm gonna go to a place that sounds weird now because I just watched it with my new housemates, and we took a trip down memory lane, and we watched Ninja Turtles 2 from the original trilogy with Jim Henson. You're gonna see my train of thought here in a second. So one of the reasons they get all family friendly and they use the toys in the toy store, Brian Henson's reasoning behind that, and during the behind the scenes interviews in the 90s, was that, well, we really wanted to show that as a ninja, anything can be used as a weapon. Watching that trailer at the beginning for Anna, and then seeing John Wick and seeing all the really interesting and cool things they did and turned into weapons, things that you would not have suspected could be used in the way that they used it and how calculated it was pretty fantastic. The scene with the book in the library was incredible, and that guy was a giant. And when you think about it, it's very David and Goliath-y. John Wick, I mean, this fool doesn't sleep. He clearly is only sleeping on planes at this time, since everyone's out to get him, and even then I'm pretty sure he doesn't feel safe sleeping on a plane because anyone could poison him or whatever. Although poison seems beneath these guys.
Yeah.
That seems to be like the one thing they won't do to kill a person.
Like every single time throughout the entire trilogy, anytime someone's drinking, my brain instant was just like, is this how they get out? And then like nobody dies and I'm just like,
nobody dies. What?
Honor. I love it.
That's one of the things that movies with Mikey kind of points out too, is that weird sense of honor and kind of chivalry of that world. It's really old school in that way. Just, it's an interesting concept, and I think the reason, because every time I felt like maybe I was starting to get bored with the action, they pulled me back in with a joke. They were like,
such a good job.
So they did a really good job pacing it, because Doctor Strange, I fall asleep in the same part every time. There's too much action, and then there's too much story, and I think they did a good job of balancing, I think the supposed lack of depth. Mikey brings a lot of depth to it because he makes an interesting comparison and draws some weird parallels there that work really well. But I think it's that kind of lack of depth that really makes it work, and I think it's also them not trying to pull in too much, because I think Marvel's starting to be a little too much. Watching the trailers for the Avengers exhausted me, whereas this movie I found just exciting and fun and different. Okay, can we talk about how unfair it is that Keanu is still so damn good looking? And he's in his 50s.
Didn't you know he's a vampire? Oh wait, no, there's Nicolas Cage.
But it wouldn't surprise me if he's drinking the blood of his enemies, John Wick. Especially since there are so many of them. The marker thing is interesting. Oh, and let's talk about how they utilized dogs in this one.
Oh,
that was really neat.
Good puppies.
I
Good
don't even
puppies.
want to
No.
know, like,
No sad
how
puppy scene. Like, they
frustrating
get
it
you,
was.
but you're fine.
Yeah, they do trick you, and it's pretty awesome. I don't even want to know how long those days were. Those days must have been so long filming with those dogs, because there is some incredibly awesome footage. I bet we only saw like a fraction of the footage they got doing like all of that crap. The dogs, they were so good. And again, they became weapons in a way to throw enemies off balance so that you could then finish it. That was a really unique twist, I thought. There were just so many things in this movie that are so freaking awesome. Go see it. If you didn't watch it today, this is being taped on opening day, right?
Yeah.
It just came out today, yeah. So if you didn't see it opening day, go see it. If you haven't seen the other ones, if you haven't seen John Wick and then John Wick Chapter 2, I definitely recommend those. Go see it. I don't think that you have to enjoy this movie, but I think that you should if you want the completeness of it and you want to see some just really interesting fighting styles. And he speaks so many different languages. I'm going to propose something that could be weird. I think that Keanu Reeves could do 007 if not for his voice. Because he has an accent that is all his own. And even in other languages, because we find out that he doesn't just speak Russian, we find out he's a polyglot. In the second movie, he shows off his signing skills in Ruby Rose.
Babe.
She's such a babe. I think that's neat that sign language is making its way in there. But then we also see him bust out his... Was it Japanese? No, it was Chinese. Wait, what language
I
is
am
that?
unsure. I would assume,
I would assume Japanese because it opens up...
I assume
we meet that guy
Japanese.
in a sushi bar.
Exactly, sushi bar. And the individual that we're talking about, the actor, is the host for Iron Chef. So he is Japanese, his father is Japanese. So I instantly assume Japanese, especially because they did the puffer fish, which is Japanese.
He was so funny.
Oh, he was a hoot. He did such a good job.
It was hilarious. During the comeuppance scene with him, I actually kind of felt bad. Because the reverence there, and the respect, and actually his students who fight John Wick also, there was a lot of reverence from them as well, and that respect that we want you on your feet when we fight you and defeat you because we've heard amazing things about you. They knocked his age a little bit, which is kind of funny. Yeah, okay, he's in his 50s. He also hasn't had a decent night's sleep, and he's not even properly healing from anything. He barely gets one of his wounds closed. And
I'm surprised he hasn't died of
infection. Yeah. So if various hitmen can have bounties on them that other people are accepting at this point, we've seen that happen a couple of times in the trilogy. So I was a little surprised when the Continental was deconsecrated. I was a little surprised. There were more people I thought people were gonna be like, oh fuck,
game.
I need to get out of here because that person was trying to kill me yesterday, and
no,
it didn't happen. It didn't
like,
happen. But I thought for sure we would see at least a little chaos from that.
Yeah, especially because like in both 1 and 2, you see people doing business on Consequential, and horrible outcomes happen, but you always just see people kind of like eyeing each other and tipping each other, and they're just kind of like, I see you, I can't do nothing, but I see you. And like I totally expected the moment like that consecration stamp went down, like it was just like fucking pop 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 pop, killing you, making money, yeah. Like I totally expected a shit show, and instead everyone's just standing in line.
They were like, oh, okay, checking out, like, oh, they were like, it's fine, it's cool, this happens all the time. Yeah, it was definitely a really fun one. So yeah, those are our thoughts and opinions on it. Just
can't wait it for 4. They have to have a 4. If they don't have a 4, there's a 4. There's a 4.
There's gotta be a 4.
We're foaming at the mouth. What we expected to happen in the 3rd movie didn't fucking happen. Nothing happened. We want more awesomeness, but we want that closure. That little
hurt from smiling so much at the movie. It was so much fun. It takes itself seriously, but it leaves a lot of room for some comedy there, some really dark humor there that is just fantastic and well-timed and well-written. Yeah, I can't wait to see what comes next, if anything comes next. I'm so sick of franchises. Disney has franchised me out with the Star Wars universe and the Marvel universe, but it would be fun to see a continuation of this movie. How did we even stumble upon this movie? How did that happen?
I think literally it was word of mouth. Reddit was just like John Wick.
And I was really glad.
John Wick.
And then we went and saw.
What I'm really interested about TV series.
Oh, Continental? Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
I'm really curious on like where in the timeline it starts and continues onward, because it's just from what we know of 3, you're just like, oh my god, shit.
I am really curious if we're going to be following one hitman or like one person, or if we're going to get to see different stories. Yeah.
I would love it to be episodic, because based on a hotel of death, like it would be
Mm-hmm.
so easy just to make an episodic thing.
Yeah.
And then like have arch stories
and
of
then
like
that like keeps it really
management.
interesting too, because it makes it easier to change up characters if like one's not working out or one decides they want to go a different direction. That makes it really easy as well. So then our actors aren't stifled necessarily. So I want to see Leslie in a John Wick movie.
She just has that killer look, that killer instinct.
She really does.
She would be beautiful.
And I think that this would really give her a chance to shine in the world of action, because again, she already does such a beautiful job in Lucifer. So this would be some new and interesting queer. I mean, how can they possibly blow us away? Although with the Fast and Furious ones, every time we think it can't get more ridiculous, it does. And the streak continues with Sean Hobbs.
Oh, it looks so good.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
I guess it really could go either way. Either the next one is gonna be amazing or it's gonna be awful.
I'm betting amazing.
Probably amazing. Damn those cars. Damn them cars.
Shut up and take my money.
You know what? I think I need like a John Wick poster. Like, I would love to have a John Wick poster of some sort. I need that. So I think that's all I have on the movie.
No, we covered all the things that are wonderful.
I just want to thank you for watching my video about John Wick and listening to mine and Chantel's opinions about it. We would love to hear your opinions, so please leave those in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I invite you to join me for my next video, wherein I will teach you how to make a Mai Tai and give you 5 great reasons to watch one of my favorite movies, The Little Shop of Horrors. If you want to follow along and make the drink with me, and the ingredients that you will need for the next video are rum, lime juice, almond or wheat syrup, orange curacao, and simple syrup or sugar syrup, something to shake in, something to measure it out, and some maraschino cherries. You also have the option of garnishing with a lime and pineapples. I'm not going to eat those, so I'm just going to leave them out. Once again, hit that like and subscribe button so you can see more videos, and join me next time to learn how to make a Mai Tai and to hear why I think you should watch Little Shop of Horrors. Cheers! You got it on me.